know.
And what's he doing? He's playing a game called badminton.
Badminton.
Yeah, he's playing a game. And what's he doing?
Don't know.
He's cutting the grass. These are old-fashioned things. What's this? He's pushing a stroller with lots of little whoos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whoos. But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, "What rot! This elephant's talking to who's who are not," to a black-bottomed eagle named Valdioff, a mighty strong eagle of very swift wing, and they said, "Will you kindly get rid of this thing?" And before the poor elephant even could speak, the eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. And that late afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight. While Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, "Please don't harm all my little folk, who have as much right to live as us bigger folk do." But far, far beyond him, that eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, "Quit your yapping. I'll fly the night through. I'm a bird, I don't mind, and I'll hide this tomorrow where you'll never find it." Ooh, there's Horton. Where's the dust village? Where are the who's? Where's the bird? And at 6:56 the next morning he did. It sure was a terrible place that he hid it. He let that small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. "Find that," sneered the bird, "but I think you will fail." And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. "I'll find it," cried Horton. "I'll find it or bust. I shall find my friends on my small speck of dust." And clover by clover with care, he picked up. But clover by clover he found that the one he sought for was just not around. And by noon, poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. And then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last on the 3 millionth flower. "My friends," cried the elephant, "tell me, do tell, are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well?" From down on the speck came the voice of the mayor. "We really had trouble, much more than our share. When our black-bottomed birdies let go and we dropped, we landed so hard that our clocks had all stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up when we crashed." "So Horton, please," pleaded that voice of the mayor, "will you stick by us, who's, while we're making repairs?" "Of course," said Horton, answered. "Of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks, through thick and through thin." What are they doing? What are they doing here? They're fixing things. They're repairing. See the broken umbrella? They're sewing it. What is this one doing? He's sweeping with the broom. He's fixing a leaky pipe. He's fixing a bicycle. Humph, the voice. "For almost 2 days you run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who've never existed. Such carrying on in our peaceable jungle. We've had quite enough of your bellowing bugle." But I don't see it yet. The elephant smiled. "That was clear as a bell. You kangaroos surely heard that very well." "All I heard," snapped the big kangaroo, "was the breeze, and the faint sound of wind through the far distant trees. I heard no small voices, and you didn't either." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me neither." Ooh, and there's the pot boiling for the dust. "Grab him," they shouted, "and cage the big dope, lasso his stomach with the 10-mile rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. then duck that dumb speck in the bezelnut juice. Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, for the Wickersham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into his cage, but he managed to call to the mayor, "Don't give up, I believe in you all. A person's a person, no matter how small. And you very small persons will not have to die if you make yourselves heard. So come on now, try." The mayor grabbed a tom-tom. He started to smack it. And all over Whoville, they whooped up a racket. They rattled tin kettles. They beat on brass pans. On garbage pail tops and on cranberry cans, they blew on the baboozle. They blasted great toots on clarinets, oompas and boompas and flutes. Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky, and the mayor called up through the howling mad hullabaloo, "Hey, Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through?" And Horton called back, "I can hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't as strong quite as mine. They don't hear a thing. And are you sure all your boys are doing their best? Are they all making a noise? Are you sure Eddie Who down there in Whoville is working? Quick, look through your town. Is there anyone shirking? Through the town rushed the mayor, from the east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping or yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping. But it wasn't enough. All this ruckus and roar. He had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building. He searched floor to floor. And just as he felt he was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair, he suddenly burst through the door. That mayor discovered one shirker, quite hidden away in the Fairfax apartment 12J. A very small shirker named Jojo was just standing and bouncing his yo-yo, not making a sound, not making a yip, not a chirp. And the mayor rushed inside and he grabbed the young twerp. Where is he, the young twerp? Can you show me? Yes. And he climbed with the lad up the Ethelberg Tower. "This," cried the mayor, "is your town's darkest hour. The time for all who have blood in that is red, to come to the aid of their country," he said. "We've got to make noise." And great cleared his throat and he shouted, "Yop!" And that yop, that one small extra yop, put it over. Finally, at last, from the speck on the clover, their voices were heard. They rang out clear and clean, and the elephant smiled. "Do you see what I mean? They've proved they are persons, no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all." "How true, yes, how true," said the big kangaroo. "And from now on, you know what I'm planning to do? From now on, I'm going to protect them with you." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Me too.
"Me too." That's right. I think that's the end, but I can't. There we are. "Me too. From the sun in the summer, from the rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them, no matter how smallish." He's such a clever writer.
Yeah.
He
Some
is so
good reading, Grandma Sue.